Hi and welcome to the first video of a new series that I am calling Let's Mod Warframe. The first video in this series is all about the Tenno single-shot bolt-action sniper rifle, the Vectis. Now the aim of this series is not to swamp you with numbers, but to help you understand the builds that I use for these weapons in the hope that it helps you to improve your own build. Now by no means are my builds the only way to mod these weapons, however they're very solid builds that I use on a regular basis and work very nicely for me. Now the Vectis itself is a critical based sniper rifle. It's got a base crit chance of 25% with a 2 times critical multiplier. Now it's well worth building on that strong base with critical mods and critical damage mods. Okay, so let's start getting into modding the Vectis. Now the standard mods I would have on this weapon are the split chamber in the V polarity, and also serration, with also point strike and vital sense to make use of that really good crit chance and really good crit damage. Now the final 2 mods I would put in there are ones that are very specific to the faction that you are actually facing. Now for Corpus I would put on a max Stormbringer and also a max Cryo round. Doing this provides you with a very nice magnetic proc which works very well on Corpus shields. Now you combine that with the high impact damage that the Vectis provides and it makes for a very well rounded damage dealer against the Corpus. Okay, so when I mod for the Grineer, again I go with the standard build, Serration, Split Chamber, Point Strike and Vital Sense to make use of the crit chance. But then I change out the Cryo rounds for Thermite rounds, which is the Breeding Grounds dual stat mod. Now if you weren't able to complete the event and don't have the Thermite rounds, then I would change the Stormbringer for a rank 10 Stormbringer and add a rank 10 Hellfire, which will do the job just fine. Now this provides the radiation proc, which is very good against the heavier Grineer forces, such as the Napalms and the Bombards. Now when I'm modding for the Void, I put in a max Stormbringer plus a Malignant Force. Now Malignant Force drops from the Void boss War in Tower 4 keys and can be farmed that way. However, if you're not able to farm it that way, then just substitute that for a rank 10 Stormbringer with a rank 10 infected clip and you've got no problems there at all. Now this provides the corrosive damage that you need, which is very good against the heavily armoured forces that are very native to the Void. Now in terms of progression with this weapon, I feel it's a very strong weapon, and with the promised buffs to snipers in the future, it is, in my opinion, very well worth investing Former into it. Now the build I'm about to show you is a 5 Former build that is very strong in all situations. Now that said, it is not needed to invest 5 Former into this weapon. Adding another 1 or 2 V polarity slots into the build will allow you the extra mod space to fill out the rest of the mod slots. The build I've currently got on my Vectis has got 4 added V polarities and 1 added dash polarity, meaning that it now has 5 Vs and 1 dash. The standard build I bring and I run on my Vectis is the max Serration, max Split Chamber, max Heavy Caliber, Vital Sense, Point Strike and Charge Chamber. Now the max Heavy Caliber is the only debatable one on there. I feel that at the close to mid range, the max Heavy Caliber doesn't affect the accuracy of the weapon enough to warrant removing any of those levels. However, in longer range maps, some of the Corpus interception maps on Pluto, that sort of thing, you might want to bring that down a bit to increase your accuracy with the weapon again. Now in my build for the Corpus I go for magnetic damage, so I've got the Stormbringer in the dash polarity and then the max Cryo rounds as well to bring the magnetic up. Now for Grineer, I change that out and go for Stormbringer for the electric damage and Hellfire for the fire damage, and that brings up the radiation needed for the very heavy Bombards and Napalms that the Grineer like to have. And then for Void, I change those out again, change out the Hellfire for a max infected clip, and that brings up the corrosive damage needed for the Void. Now to sum up the Vectis. The single shot from the Vectis is second to none in the game. It's a very strong weapon that can dish out a lot of sustained damage over most distances. And the fast reload between shots means that you can keep firing at a very steady rate and just keep dishing out that damage. Now the critical damage hammer is both an advantage and a problem with this weapon. When this weapon gets a critical hit, it does a huge amount of damage, However, due to the base crit being so low compared with other single shot weapons such as the Paris or the Stalker's Dread, it doesn't crit all the time, and if you look in this clip that I'm showing you now, you can see what happens when the Vectis doesn't crit at the higher level Void. The majority of the time the target will not die, and that can be an issue. Another fault with this weapon is the very low status chance. Now at 5% it's very negligible and really doesn't make it worth modding for. At high-end content in Warframe right now, status is making a very large difference, and that means that although very good at any level, it drops off very quickly towards the sort of high-end enemies in the Void, even when comparable weapons such as the Dread, such as the Paris, are still killing very effectively. Now all in all, I love playing this weapon. It's a lot of fun, it requires a degree of accuracy, however it's not a weapon to play if your accuracy is having a bad day. If you don't land those shots, you don't do the damage. However, I absolutely recommend getting this weapon. I think everyone will have a lot of fun. If you like your snipers, you like your bows, this is a great weapon for you. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.